It's been one of those days. Honestly, I stand up and I feel like I'm drunk. I feel like I just had I don't know, 4 glasses of wine, and now I stand up and I'm like, whoa! And it's just really annoying. It's just really annoying, and and everything, I don't know, my vision is very grainy, and so everything is I don't know, and at times, I don't know, I'm just looking around and it's just and everything looks so busy, just looking at the grain of the wood of the door. It's just so busy, and the patterns on the pattern on my weighted blanket, it just looks so busy that it just makes me so dizzy. And actually, this is my weighted blanket. My mother made it for me, which was nice. And so, and actually, weighted blankets are really good for people with anxiety. You lay underneath the blanket and it feels like a warm hug, and that is just lovely. So anyway, I don't know, I guess this is just the kind of stuff I have to deal with my illness, because I'm feeling really great for 10 days and I feel wonderful, but then all of a sudden, I start my vision starts to get grainy, and I feel this lightheadedness that you get when you're drunk, and you feel light, and it's not a pleasant type of drunk. It's just, I feel like my head is going to float to the top of the ceiling and never come down, and it's and then I just feel exhausted. I almost feel like I'm not really present, and I feel sometimes I just zone out. I zone out into space, and it's just, and it's really, I don't know, it's really scary, and sometimes things move that are not supposed to move. Like yesterday, I was reading my thesis manuscript, which I was practicing for because my thesis defense is on Monday. Anyway, so I was reading my thesis manuscript, and then all of a sudden the words kind of started turning like this, and then they started almost floating above the page, and almost I had to keep them there. I had to keep them on, I had to strain my eyes so they would stay on the page, and they're not supposed to do that. The words are technically supposed to stay on the page, but it almost I had to strain my eyes to make sure that they didn't float away, if that makes sense. Sometimes furniture or inanimate objects have a certain sense of aliveness that is just really, really weird. So it's not the sense that it's like Beauty and the Beast where they're talking and they're walking around. No, it's nothing like that. It's as if they are they're almost like a sleeping animal, and at any moment they could just wake up and start walking around. And I remember specifically this happening one time where I was looking at just a damp towel on the rack, and it was almost like inhaling and exhaling like a sleeping cat. And then one time when I was looking up at the ceiling fan, and it seemed to be kind of jiggling like jello. And that was kind of weird. So those are the kind of things that I experience with my schizoaffective disorder. They're not really hallucinations, but they're more like distortions. Almost like when you look at an optical illusion and you can shift your focus to see someone. At one point you can see an old lady, and at another point you can see just a young woman. And you can shift them back and forth, except in this state of mind, I'd have no control over the shift. Like sometimes I would look at my legs, and then sometimes they would be stick thin, and then other times they would look massive. And I specifically remember just a few weeks ago, I was looking in the mirror and I just looked massive. Like I looked probably 100 or 200 pounds heavier. And I remember I looked in the mirror and I just had this sense that I was just so large, and I felt this sense of kind of a self-loathing, this unbearable self-loathing, and I couldn't concentrate. Like I was just like, I just had all these racing thoughts, and I was like, oh my god, and it was just like, and then I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about just all these things, like my friend who had recently passed away by suicide, and that was horrible hearing that, and I just couldn't think, and I just started sobbing once I started thinking about her and how much what I could have done maybe to stop her from doing that. And I never cry, and mostly because my medication doesn't allow me to cry. It doesn't allow me to express negative emotions because it kind of levels out my medication, so I can't reach that point where that dip. These are the kind of things that happen when I'm in a manic stage. And so, it's kind of like, I just learned this during my meeting with my psychiatrist. When I experience the manic symptoms of, say, like the kind of the hallucinations that I usually, or not the hallucinations, but the visual distortions when I'm manic, but if I'm feeling exhausted, like in a depressive stage, then that's called a mixed stage, which I just learned that, and so that was absolutely wonderful to figure that out, because I couldn't figure out why I was having manic and depressive symptoms at the same time. But it is common sometimes to have a mixed stage like that, which is what my psychiatrist told me. So that's kind of what I experience when I'm in this state of mind. So just so you know. So, alright. So I guess that's it.